I like to ask whether or not you have goals, but I want to ask you another question. How many of you know that if you had your life to live over again, you could do more than what you've done thus far? Raise your hands, please. Now, that proves the point that what we do and what we accomplish in life is only a tip of the iceberg of what's possible for us. So I want you to think about some goals that you'd like to achieve, and I'd like for you to, let's say, break them up in 3 categories. Number 1, I want you to think about some personal goal you'd like to achieve. And I'd like for you to think about some career goal, some business goal that you'd like to achieve. And I want you to think about some social contribution, some impact you'd like to make with your life. It was Horace Mann who said, we should be ashamed to die until we've made some major contribution to humankind. I believe we live in the greatest country in the world that gives us an opportunity to leave our mark, to make a statement with our lives. And as you think about these goals, whatever those goals are, I want you to dramatically increase those goals. And I want to warn you, I don't want you to think about how you're going to do it. How is none of your business. The most important thing is just to increase those goals dramatically. I've found that most people fail in life, not because they aim too high and miss. Most people fail in life because they aim too low and hit. And many don't aim at all. So raise the bar on yourself and don't ask how you're going to do it. I'll never forget when I decided that I wanted to become a motivational speaker. I saw the late Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, and my heart said, I can do that. But my mind asked the question, how? And for over 14 years, I would go see Zig Ziglar and Dr. Norman Vincent Peale and Jim Rohn and different speakers, and I would be in the audience, and my heart would pounce and say, you can do that, Les. And then when I would leave, I would be going to the parking lot, and my mind said, how are you going to do it? And I spent so many years trying to figure out how. I wasted 14 years. How many of you ever procrastinated? Raise your hands, please. Yeah, see, so as you begin to think about your goals, the most important thing is, and write this down, commit yourself. See, once you commit yourself, the how will come, the way will come. Once you commit yourself, you will then figure it out. And if you're going in the wrong direction, all you have to do is turn around and go in the other direction. You will figure it out. You want to begin to just challenge yourself. You want to stretch yourself because you really don't know what you can't do. I'll never forget the first day that I met Mr. Washington. I was born in a poor section of Miami, Florida called Liberty City. I was born in an abandoned building on a floor with a twin brother. And when we were 6 weeks of age, we were adopted. And when I was in the 5th grade, I was identified as EMR, labeled educable, mentally retarded, put back from the 5th grade into the 4th grade. And I failed again when I was in the 8th grade. I don't have any college education, but because of my mother, and I feel like Abraham Lincoln, who said, all that I am and all that I ever hope to be, I owe to my mother. I saw a sign once that said that God took me from my biological mother's womb and placed me in the heart of my adopted mother. So my first major goal was to buy my mother a home, to take care of my mother. And I did that, took care of her until she passed at 88. But I'll never forget when I met Mr. Washington. I was in a class waiting on another student, and he came in and he said, young man, go to the board and work this problem out for us. I said, oh, sir, I can't do that. He said, why? I said, I'm not one of your students. He said, look at me. I said, yes, sir. Go to the board and work the problem out anyhow. I said, sir, I can't do what you're asking me to do. He said, why? Sir, because I'm educable, mentally retarded, sir. And as the students erupted in laughter, he came from behind his desk, he looked at me and he said, don't you ever say that again. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. And that was a turning point in my life. On one hand, I was humiliated. But on the other hand, I was liberated. Because he looked at me with the eyes of Goethe, who said, look at a man the way that he is. He only becomes worse. But look at him as if he were what he could be. Then he becomes what he should be. And so Mr. Washington, he challenged me. And I want to challenge you right now about raising your goals, and I want you to shake someone's hand on your right and left, look them in the eyes and say, stretch yourself. Yeah, see, I think that you really have to stretch yourself to discover your stuff. I think that we have to really begin to experiment with life. And I said that you have something special. I didn't say that just to be kind and courteous. You do. See, I think that There are not many people that come to seminars or workshops or will watch a program of this nature. Why? I just think that most people are just satisfied to where they are. I'm reminded of a man one day. He was walking down the street and he passed his porch where some people were on the porch talking, and there was a dog moaning and groaning. And he was curious why the dog was moaning and groaning. And he went back and he said, excuse me, he asked the owner, why is the dog moaning and groaning? Guy said, because he's laying on a nail. He said, well, why won't he get off? He said, it's not hurting bad enough for him to get off. Just hurting bad enough to moan and groan. How many of you know people who should be here? Raise your hands, please. How many of you know people, all they do is moan and groan? Moan and groan. I'm not making enough money. Moan and groan. I'm unhappy with my job. 87% of people go to jobs that they hate. And in addition to that, you know, as we know that we have the dubious distinction in this country that on Monday morning the heart attack rate increases over 35%. On Monday morning between 6 o'clock and 9, people going to jobs that they hate. The heart said, didn't I tell you I didn't want to go? And attack them. Some of you don't want to go to work next Monday. So the thing is this, so you want to find out what resonates with you. What is it you really want to do? You want to experiment with life and find out what fits for you. You have something special. You have greatness within you. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. See, I believe that anybody through observation and practice can perform at the level of excellence. But when you're pursuing your greatness, and this is worth writing down, you don't know what your limits are, and you act like you don't have any. So I say to you, you have something special. You have greatness within you. And I want to make 4 things clear. Number 1, everything that I'm going to say, you already know it. If what I share, the message that I'm going to express right now and share with you, if it wasn't a part of who you are already, you wouldn't be in the audience. That's number 1. That's very important. It's already in you. I'm going to only confirm and validate that which is a part of you anyhow. The second thing is, everything I'm going to say to you, you've heard it before. From people with college degrees and credentials, I can't hold a candle to. It's common sense, but not common practice. Third thing is, I don't want you to agree with me, and I don't want you to believe me. I just want you to be open to some things right now. I want you to think beyond that which is commonly allowed. And I'm going to tell you what I'm up to. I want you to think about your goals, and I want to tell you what I'm going to do right now. My whole goal is to get past your mind. That's my whole challenge, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm going to do that. See, your assignment was to show up. My assignment is to get past your mind and get into your heart. Once you think about the goals that you want to achieve, and I really want to challenge you to make up your mind that you're going to make that happen for yourself. And I hope that it's some goal that really resonates with who you are. When I was a little boy, my goal was to just buy groceries for our family. My mother worked on Miami Beach. She was a domestic worker. And my goal was to really be able to go to the grocery store and purchase groceries ourselves. The families knew that my mother had adopted 7 children. And so they said, Mamie, whatever food is left over after we eat, you can take that home to the children. They were very kind, very, very considerate people. My mother, who when she worked on Miami Beach, the people were very kind. I was appreciative of their generosity. But as a little boy, I said, Mama, one day, when I become a big boy, I'm going to be able to buy groceries for us. My goal as a little boy was to buy clothes for my brothers and sisters. We wore the hand-me-down clothes of the children that Mama babysat for when she went over in Miami Beach. And if the clothes were too small, she would let them out. And if they were too large, Mama could sew and take them up. And I'll never forget David Sidursky. His father was very wealthy. Mama worked for him, but David was my buddy. And so his father gave him 2 gifts for his birthday. Gave him a brand new boat, but he also gave him some motivational tapes. Earl Nightingale, I'll never forget. So he said, David, man, let me tell you something. When I die, you're going to get everything. I want you to listen to these tapes. And when his father left the room, David threw those tapes in the wastebasket. I said, David, can I have those tapes? He said, yes. I said, man, your father said, if you listen to these, you could get more and do more than what he's done. He said, hey, look, I'm going to get everything anyhow. Go ahead, take them. I told my children, I'm not leaving them anything. You know, if I had a quarter and thought I was going to die, I'll swallow it. Write this down. It's not what you leave for your children, it's what you leave in them. Not what you leave for them, what you leave in them. No, absolutely not. I'll tell you something else happened. I never forget. Mama came home one day and said, Leslie, David sent you a new pair of shoes his father got for him. I said, oh, Mama, thank you so much. I can't wear David's shoes. I said, why? Well, you tell my buddy that, you know, I wear size 9.5. He wears size 9. She said, boy, shut up, sit down, and put those shoes on. She said, Marvin, go get some Vaseline. And she came in there, and my sister started rubbing the Vaseline on my feet. And she said, run some water in the bathtub. And she's now go in there and put your feet in those shoes and don't mash the heel down. I said, Mama, shut up, boy, don't mash the heel down. And then she had me to get in the bathtub. I said, Mama, these shoes hurt. She said, get in there and walk around in the water. And I'm walking around the bathtub. Then she tried to distract me. I knew what she was doing. How'd you do at school today? I did good. Did you get in any fights? No, ma'am. You know you fought somebody. Well, I only hit 3 people today. and then after a while, she said, how you doing? I said, well, they hurt. Do they hurt as bad as they were before? No, ma'am, they feel a little bit better. Keep on walking, keep on walking. And then after a while, when the leather soaked up the water, the leather began to stretch to a perfect 9.5. You think Fortune 500 companies started talking about doing more with less? My mother been doing that for a long time. It's amazing what you can do. But who would have thought, anybody looking in on this kid and these 7 children, who would have thought? And I look at you and I say, you have greatness within you. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. No one could have convinced me that I would be doing what I'm doing right now. You know, the easiest thing I do every year is go into a sales organization and dramatically increase their sales, or go into a prison and enable prisoners to see themselves differently and teach them the methods and techniques of how to plug into the system, or motivate young people to begin to see how they can have a vision of themselves in the future and fit. That's the easiest thing I do, or train a speaker to help them to leverage their experience as a speaker and say, look, speaking is a projection of who you are, not who you think you ought to be, and come with power from a platform. That's the easiest thing I've ever done. Let me share with you the most difficult thing I've ever done. The most difficult thing I've ever done was to believe that I can do what I'm now doing. No one could have convinced me, just given my circumstances. I earn millions of dollars every year. No one could have convinced me. If both my parents came up here right now, I would not know either one. No one could have convinced me, being labeled educable, mentally retarded, born in an abandoned building on the floor in Liberty City, poor section of Miami, Florida, failing twice in school, no college training, never worked for a major corporation. I did not know I can do what I'm doing right now. I'll never forget Mike Williams, my mentor. I think a lot of people fail in life because of the fact that they need some mentoring, they need some coaching. Repeat out to me, please. You need some coaching. Yeah, see, you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. I remember Mike saying, Les, you can do this. Mike, how, man? Wait a minute, Mike. How much am I going to be able to charge, Mike? Les, you could start out at $1,000 an hour. Mike, I don't make that working for 2 weeks. Come on, Mike. Mike, man, I appreciate your belief in me, Mike. Look, Mike, I work for the Miami Sanitation Department, man. I've been a garbage collector. I've done door-to-door sales. That was great, and I'm here as a disc jockey. That's good, Mike, but Mike, I don't think I can do that, Les. You can. But Mike, I don't have any credentials. I've never written any book, anything, man. I'm not rich. How can I teach somebody to do something I've never done? But Les, why don't you just test yourself? Why don't you stretch, Les? Come on, man. Mike, I don't know. And here's something I realized. Write this down. Sometimes you have to believe in somebody's belief in you until your belief kicks in. I respect Mike Williams. Here, this young man, he saw something in me that I didn't see it, and strong analytical mind. And I looked at him. I always respected his thinking. And he looked at me and he made me feel special. And I said, okay, Mike. And I just kept holding on to what Mike said to me. I just kept holding on to what Mr. Washington said to me. I kept holding on to my mother saying, you're special, Leslie, when they said you're educable, mentally retarded. Mama didn't know what that meant. She only had a third-grade education. So she said, he'll be all right, honey. A hard head make a soft behind. He'll be fine. But she said, you're special, baby. You are special. And they kept saying that over and over again. Faith comes by hearing and hearing and hearing. And so here's what I want you to do. Let us say together, as you think about your goals and your dream, let us say together, it's possible. Together, please.
It's possible.
Say it like you mean it.
It's possible.
Thank you. Write that down. See, most people never achieve their goals because most people suffer from possibility blindness. They look around trying to think about the things that they don't have. Robert Roots, young man who wrote a book about success principles of the three little pigs. He said, it's not what you don't have, it's what you think you need that keeps you from being successful or happy in life. It's not what you don't have. See, I was focused on what I didn't have. Don't have a college degree, don't have any credentials, never worked for a major corporation. I was focused on the negative things. It said, negative things are the things that you see when you're not focused on your goal. What do you come with? What is it that you have within you that you showed up to bring? Hey, Les, you don't know, but my dream is a long shot. A friend of mine, Dexter Yeager, said, when the dream is big enough, the odds don't matter. I'm reminded of a great man when I was reading Time magazine talking about some of the great minds of the last century. They didn't mention his name, Dr. Howard Thurman, one of the mentors of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and also an advisor to Mahatma Gandhi and Albert Schweitzer. And he said, the ideal situation for a man or woman to die is to have family members standing around their bed praying with them as they cross over. But imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed and standing around your bed, the dreams given to you by life, the ideas that you never acted on, the talents, the gifts, the abilities that you never used. And there they are, standing around your bed, looking at you with large, angry eyes, saying, we came to you, and only you could have given us life. And now we must die with you forever. And the question is, if you died this very moment, what will die with you? What dreams, what ideas, what talents, what leadership potential, what greatness that you showed up to bring, that you allowed fear or procrastination to hold you back? Perhaps that's why Henry David Thoreau wrote the words, oh God, to reach the point of death, only to realize that you've never lived, only to realize that you've never scraped the surface of your potential. Repeat out to me, please, with power, feeling, and conviction. I refuse to die an unlived life. Yes, shake someone's hand on your right and left and say, live your dream. Yeah, I think we should all resolve. I refuse to die an unlived life. Don't worry about the odds. You survived 1 out of 40 million sperms. You will never have those odds again. You beat those odds, you can win anything. Here's something else stops most people. You know what it is? Failure. Let us say together, I will fail my way to success. Yes, write that down. I will fail my way to success. See, 8 out of 10 millionaires have been financially bankrupt. 85% of people allow their fear of failure to outweigh their desire to succeed. And I believe that the reason that most people go so far in life and stop, Maya Angelou said it best. She wrote a poem. She said that most people go so far in life and then they park. They pull off the highway of life. Especially when they get some hits, especially when they've been rejected, especially if they have an illness, especially if they lose something, they park. And I take it further. They don't even turn on their emergency lights. It's not because that they are broken down. They don't want anybody to stop and say, hey, look here, I've got some jumping cables in my trunk. You need a jump? Hey, look here, there's a service station ahead about 3 or 4 miles. I have a can. I can take you up there and get some gasoline. Oh, no, I'm just fine. I had a talk show once, and highest rated, fastest canceled talk show in the history of television. Well, at least I had one. And I was excited. You know, when time I came into television years ago, television was based upon conflict and controversy. So I said, I want a solution-oriented talk show. First concept of that kind. High ratings. And the syndicators say, you just got lucky. Come on, let's do these other type of shows. You can be a Jerry Springer. Oh, no, that's not why I came here. No, I believe that we live in the greatest country in the world where we should hold ourselves to certain standards. I'm not going to come here and sell out on who I am. I'm not going to compromise. I'm not going to lower my standards for you. No, that's not why I showed up. And so they fired me. Security walked him out. I said, I can walk by myself. But let me tell you what happened. I took a hit and I parked. It wasn't that I didn't have the ability to do more. My concept was good. But what happened when I took the hit, when they canceled the show, I canceled myself. When they said the show is going to be taken off television, it won't work, I told myself, Les, you can't succeed in television. And I parked. You know what I did? I went back to my comfort zone. As a motivational speaker, at least I'm doing better than most people. That's nothing to compare yourself to worse that other people are doing and then make yourself feel better. No, I parked. I didn't have my emergency lights on. I didn't want to show up on the radar. I parked. You know how long I parked? I parked for 10 years. Do you hear me? Now, unlike Regis Philbin, when his shows were canceled, he kept going, he kept going, he kept going, and he got other shows. I bet you somebody gave him a push. Somebody said, hey, you need a lift? I didn't even make that an option for me. I got off the highway, I went back to my comfort zone, and I parked. The show failed, and I identified myself as a failure. And guess something happened. One day, just flipping the channels, looking at PBS, and saw Wayne Dyer, my friend Wayne Dyer. And boy, I said, wait, we're both in our 60s. Wayne is still doing it. Wow, the little hair he has, it's gray, he's still there. I said, hey, I've got some more stuff in me. I've got another PBS special in me. I've got some other ideas. You know, Oprah and Phil, they're doing my stuff. Maybe I need to come back out here. And I went back and started calling PBS and different people. They said, Les, what happened to you? I said, well, I didn't know whether or not anybody would be interested in me because the show was canceled. No, you had some good ideas. And when they said, yeah, we would love to do a show with you, I said, you would? They said, yes. And when I went into the studio and people that I'd worked with 10 years ago, they were still there. And I said, guys, you know, do you guys still have it? They said, we have it. Do you have it? I said, I think so. You know. And I did the show, and I wasn't as good as I was 10 years ago because I was off the highway. I'd gotten off the highway of life. I'd been parked for so long, it's taking me some time to get my strength back, to find my power, to get my confidence back. But at least I'm back out there in the game, determined to dry empty. So I say to you, see, I only attract millionaires or millionaires in training. Just going to get that in a minute. You have something special. You have greatness within you. And the only reason you're here, you are my assignment. You can feel me. Some of you feel me right here in your heart of hearts. And my goal is to get past your mind and into your heart. So it's necessary that you have the mindset that I can do this. You've got to begin to believe and to fortify that belief and feed that belief by listening to tapes, going to seminars and workshops, by challenging yourself, by stretching yourself. It was Osborne who said, unless you attempt to do something beyond that which you've already mastered, you will never grow. And as you begin to challenge yourself, you'll discover some things about yourself that you don't know right now. The other thing is you begin to look at yourself, look at your dreams, and begin to experiment and stepping into your greatness. One of the things that's very important, whatever goals and dreams that you have, repeat after me, please. Make your move before you're ready. You have Price Pritchett, who's a great motivator and trainer. He said, make your move before you're ready. We're instructed in life to walk by faith and not by sight. See, you want to really begin to stretch yourself. You want to become a risk taker. You want to raise the bar on yourself. Most people won't do that. See, most people engage in low-life living, low-risk living. Viscard said, if you're not willing to risk, you cannot grow. And if you cannot grow, you cannot become your best. And if you cannot become your best, you can't be happy. And if you can't be happy, then what else is there? I like what Helen Keller said, life is short and unpredictable. Eat the dessert first. And so you want to begin to take some chances. You want to begin to challenge yourself and make it okay to fail and learn from your failures. Don't allow fear of failure and the allure, the attractiveness of playing it safe in life to draw you in. You can't get out of life alive. You got to die to leave here.
As you look at yourself, look at your goals, and look at the things that you want to do, put yourself out there. When I decided that I wanted to speak, I didn't want to just be a speaker. My goal was to be a dominant speaker in my niche. You've decided you want to be a category king or queen. You didn't just want to be one of the players, you wanted to be a player, the player. And that's why you're here. Iron sharpening iron. That's why you're here, learning some stuff that you don't know right now that will allow you to provide a quality of service for your customers and an experience so that when they leave there, they feel better about themselves. You're getting them in alignment with their vision of themselves and their body. They leave there feeling better about themselves, but talking about you because of the experience and because of the relationship. That's very important during this time in the distraction economy. What do you mean by we're so distracted? So much stuff's happening right now. It's, in many situations, you can't even hear yourself think. And here's something else. And I'm going to just, I've got something I want to send you. This is very important. The master key, when I'm looking at my life and I'm asking myself, how did I get here? Look for ways in which you can upgrade your communication. Steve Jobs said, your ability to communicate, he said, the storyteller is the most powerful person in the world. I want you to send me just I'm gonna give you something, get the free. It's called 7 Principles of Storytelling. And it's very important because you have to tell the story about your business. You have to tell the story about yourself and your ability to tell your story. It's today, in order in this noisy world where we are, you have to be good at telling the story about yourself and about your practice and being in alignment where people are and finding out how you can communicate with them in a way that they can hear you. One of the things about your industry and most industries that a lot of people don't know, it's an ongoing process of educating people with a story that creates the thirst. People say, you can take a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. No, but if you know how to tell a good story, you can create a thirst where they want to drink. I remember when I ran for state representative and I had been fired from radio, and people who would ordinarily supported me when I was on the microphone, they said, Les, we love you, but man, you lost the microphone, editorializing about all these controversial things. We can't support you, man, and you don't have a chance of winning. You don't have no experience, and you don't have any money to fight the party, all the media supporting your opponent. But they miss one thing. I had a story, and when I was on air as a disc jockey, I used to talk about my mother. And when I went to the radio station, my opponent had over $40,000 because his brother was the head of the treasury for the AFL-CIO, and he had the money and the influence to get more contributors to his campaign than me. I'm a novice. This is my first time in the game. I remember a friend who was trying to talk me into running for office. I said, man, I can't do that. I don't know anything about politics. And Perkins said, neither do the people who run. So he went and got some petitions signed and said, man, you should run. People love you. And here I am on Friday before the election. It was a Tuesday. The election will be on Tuesday. And I came to the station. I had around $640. He said, what you gonna do with that? I said, I'm not sure. And then I got still and I thought, I said, can I go in the control room? And I used to do commercials. He said, yeah. I called my mother because I used to talk about my mama all the time when I was on radio. And I said, Mama, I need you to say something for me. I'm running for state representative. She said, Leslie, what kind of mess you in now? I heard because you're a big mouth, they fired you. I said, Mama, I just need you to say something for me. I ain't got time for this mess, boy. I said, Mama, I'll send you $500. I did Western Union. She said, okay, you better send me my damn money. I said, okay, Mama, I'm gonna record you, but you don't have to talk long. And I played a song by Aretha Franklin called Holy, 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 Come Together People. And then I had her say something. She said, hello, this is Mrs. Mamie Brown. When I raised my boys to be good boys. And when they got out of hand, I beat their behinds. Please vote for my son. He's a good boy. John Glenn called me, Senator John Glenn. He said, man, you call your mama on this dude, you gonna win this. And I did. I got 26,000 votes to his 3,000 votes because people say when they went in there to vote, say, I'm voting for Les Brown because his mama said he's a good boy. So being able to tell your story now, to be so good at it that you can't be ignored, to attract more customers, to get referrals, to create the kind of experience that people trust you, that people believe in you, that people feel a connection with you. Because no matter what you're doing and who you're talking to, when you go out in your community and speak to people, they're asking 3 questions. Who are you? What do you have? And why should I care? And so when you know how to tell your story, oh, the possibilities of what you can do and the impact that you can make and the reputation that you develop where people are seek you out and the word goes out. It's major. It's major. So I'd like to leave this with you, but I'm open for questions. If you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it, and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, and if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, famish, or gold, sickness or pain of body and brain, can keep you away from the thing that you want. If dogged and grim you besiege and beset it, with the help of God, you'll get it.
One of the things about you, Les, is that your life is such an example of what's possible. I mean, everybody, I want you to just picturing this about this beautiful man. I want you, he's born, his mother ends up given him to adoption to Mamie, he and his brother. They live in these conditions. He's 10 years old. His mother has to go away for a while. He's got to support the family. He's had all these incidents he's had to observe up close. There are other ones with his mother when she's cleaning houses and this woman claps her hands because she's got to know when her mother's in a room because she's going to steal something, which his mother would never do. This man goes on to influence millions, I mean, literally millions of people's lives. And then this is what's great about all of us making our dreams come true. When you make your dreams come true, the dreams of other people and dreams you can't picture also come true, because then he influences this goofy dude, me, 20-something years old, working at an orphanage, and it inspires me to change my life. So it's just, your life is such an example. And what's interesting to me, Les, is it was mainly tied to mom, meaning you wanted to do something great for your mother all your life. And that was bigger, I think, than any obstacle that got in your way. I'd like you to share this with people, because I think most people don't understand the power of having something big you're going after that means more to you than the pain you're going to have to go through in order to get it. I don't think enough people set huge, big goals that are from the heart. Don't you agree?
Yes, you said that. I was listening to you last night. You know, Dexter Yeager, as you know from Amway, he said if the dream is big enough, the odds don't matter. And so when you say dream big, that's major. One, there's power in pursuit, because as Jim Rohn said, it's not the accomplishment of the goal that matters. It's what you become in pursuit of the dream in the process. Because when you have a big dream, it will introduce you to a part of yourself that you don't know right now, that you will never discover in your comfort zone. Because in order to achieve that dream, you've got to die to who you are now. I must die daily. You must die to who you are now to give birth to who you are to become. I believe that all of us have stories of greatness in us. And follow me as I say this, as this download. We all have stories of greatness within us. In the beginning was the Word. Thou shalt decree a thing, and it shall be established unto you. When shall the kingdom of God come? Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. When shall it come? The kingdom of God cometh not by observation. They shall say, is neither lo there, lo here. Behold, the kingdom of God is within you. And that kingdom is voice activated. So when you speak, people who are in a dark place, you will bring them out into the light. When you speak, somebody's got a gun to their head. When you speak, they'll realize life is God's gift to me, and how I live my life is my gift to God. When you speak, someone who's depressed and feeling anxious will remember, be anxious for nothing. I'll keep thee in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee. So that's the power that you bring. And all the products that you have on YouTube that I mean, how ironic. They said, coincidence is God's way of staying anonymous. I've been so marinated listening to your stuff. And then you've been listening to me. Come on, look at God. What a mighty God we serve. Come on. You can't make this stuff up.
That's like my honor to think that you listening to my stuff. I got to tell you, you guys, you know, you just get what I told you all, you just have this treasure. It's like, you never want to stop hearing from Les. I mean, he's just remarkable. And the way you pull things and download them from all these places is just, it's mind blowing. I wish I were that great. You
are the messenger and you are the message. That's made, you got people who are speaking out here. It's been hijacked with speaking to sell. We sell people on their greatness. We sell people on the things that they need to do now, the methods, the techniques, the strategy to create the next greatest version of themselves. And when we do that, we know that when we make that kind of impact, we know that we're in the place of what Leo Tolstoy, the Russian author, he said, what in the meaning and purpose of my life that will not be undone and destroyed when I'm gone? And the people that listen to your program and their mind and their vision has been expanded, you give them a vision of themselves beyond the adversities of what they're experiencing in this place where we are right now, and help them to begin to live their life from a place of optimism, that they're going to impact other people, and those people are going to impact other people. And this work that you, as much as you have chosen this, you were chosen for this, and this work will not be undone. You're going to impact generations yet unborn.
What would you say to anyone do you have any, like, let's say steps or just some nuggets that you can share if there's someone out there that's listening, that's trying to achieve a goal? What are some of your steps to achieving goals?
Well, if we look at where we are today, because things have changed dramatically from when you read Live Your Dreams in 1992. I've just completed my new book called You Gotta Be Hungry.
Oh, awesome.
Yes, you gotta be hungry, unleash your greatness. And so when you said that today, I just cracked up. I said, oh my God, that means I'm on the right path. So the key to it today is, one, is the kind of platform that you've established, mindset transformation. Mm-hmm. As a man thinketh, so is he. As he continues to think, so he remains. Dr. Carter G. Woodson said, if you can determine what a man shall think, you never have to concern yourself with what he will do. He said, if you can make a man feel inferior, you never have to compel him to seek an inferior status, for he will seek it himself. And if you can make a man feel justly an outcast, you never have to order him to go to the back door. You go without being told. And if there's no door, his very nature will demand one. And so mindset transformation, it's an ongoing process. The next thing that's very important is to upgrade your skill set. And that this is the era of the 3 C's: accelerated change, overwhelming complexity, and tremendous competition. So you want to find at least 3 areas that you master, that you do that extremely well. I train speakers how to tell their story. And so I can teach them how to become a global voice. And in addition to speaking and training speakers, I also know how to tell a story. I know how to present with power. I know how to speak with my power voice. I've got a training coming up in December called Discover Your Power Voice and Master Your Cash Flow. So by my speaking and my training speakers, and the next thing that I'm able to do, I can sell a product. I can sell a concept. I used to be a salesperson for Sears. And so through my skills as a speaker, as a trainer of speakers, and as a person who can sell presentation power to make a point, to bring out the best in people, or to sell a product. Those are 3 areas that allows me to control my personal economy. So the average person, if they are serious about learning how to control their destiny and controlling their own personal economy, they have to be engaged in continuous, ongoing processes to upgrade their knowledge and their skills. Knowledge is the new currency. Mm-hmm. We're going toward a time that's called the end of work, that because of technology, over 20,000 jobs, according to the Department of Labor, being lost every day. So we're going toward a time where the majority of that jobs will be done by artificial intelligence or robots, and that's not too far away. So the key is that as you look at yourself, look at your goals and dreams, work on your mindset continuously, which will give you the courage and the mental resiliency to weather the stormy times that we're going to go through in life invariably. Continuously expand your skill set. Robert Schuller said, you either expand or you are expendable. Right. And create a community of collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships. By doing that, collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships, whatever goals that you have, you can reach a minimum of 87% of those goals by transforming your mindset, increasing your skill set, and having a team of collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships.
Wow, that's really good. That's really good. So you're spending most of your time, is that what I'm hearing you say? You're teaching other people how to grow their platforms?
I train people who are serious. I don't work with everybody. I'm not interested. I'm 74, so with the time that I have left, I want to work with people that are hungry.
Hungry.
When I ask you how many have big goals and dreams, I want to ask you to think about your goals and dreams in 3 areas. Number 1, what's some personal goal that you have for someone that you love? My first major goal was to buy my mother a home. That's what I wanted to do. I remember walking around these big, beautiful mansions before catching the bus going back to Liberty City in Overtown in Miami. I said, Mama, she said, what is it, Leslie? When I become a man, I'm going to buy you a big, beautiful home just like this.
I may have somebody that you like to do something for that's personal to you. Raise your hands, please. Very good. I want you to think about that. I'm going to share with you some strategies how you can make that happen. Next thing is, I want you to think about your financial freedom number. That when you reach that number, when you earn that amount of money, that you will feel a sense of relief. It take a lot of stress out of your life. It give you more time for yourself and for your family. And what that number is, if you wrote it down or if you're thinking about it, I want you to multiply it 100 times. And the reason that I want you to do that, I have found in my own life that most people fail in life not because they aim too high and miss. Most people fail in life because they have done what I did for the first part of my life. Aim too low and hit. And then I want you to think about your social contribution. I believe that we live in the greatest country in the world that allows us to live a life of contribution. Harshman said we should be ashamed to die until we've made some major contribution to humankind. One of the goals I have is to reduce the number of women who die from breast cancer. My mother was a 22-year breast cancer conqueror. One of the goals I have, every time I get on stage, I tell men that I was diagnosed 15 years ago with prostate cancer, given a 2 to 3 year prognosis. One of the things I believe doctors should never tell someone they're terminally ill. What they should say is that my ability to help you has terminated.
Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that the greatest tool for achieving success isn't your education, your resources, or your connections, but the mindset you choose to build every single day? The truth is, your mindset shapes every decision you make, every challenge you face, and every goal you pursue. It determines whether you rise or retreat, whether you see obstacles as roadblocks or stepping stones. In this video, you'll discover how to develop a mindset that drives success, not just in moments of motivation, but in the quiet daily choices that create lasting results. If you're ready to unlock the mental strength that sets high achievers apart, this is where your transformation begins. Ladies and gentlemen, take a moment to genuinely reflect on the life you are living today. Think carefully about your past successes and the challenges you have faced along the way. Every result you've experienced, or whether a triumph or a setback, is closely linked to the strength of your mindset. Your mindset acts as a powerful, unseen force that directs the course of your entire life. Imagine it as a seed planted in fertile soil, where its growth depends on the right conditions, just as any seed relies on sunlight, nourishment, and care. For your mindset to flourish, it must be supported by positivity, resilience, and consistent nurturing. Without these essential elements, your mindset, like a neglected seed, will struggle to develop, keeping your true potential hidden. The good news is that unlike many external factors you cannot influence, your mindset is entirely within your control. It is made up of your beliefs, attitudes, and regular thoughts. Tools you use each day, whether you are aware of it or not, to shape your path in life. Your mindset is what distinguishes those who find lasting success and fulfillment from those who face ongoing struggles and feel trapped by disappointment. By intentionally building a growth-focused mindset, you lay the groundwork for remarkable achievements and deep personal satisfaction. A positive mindset not only changes how you see challenges, but also reshapes how you deal with them. Rather than viewing difficulties as barriers, you begin to see them as chances to learn and grow. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to build resilience and improve your ability to adapt and move forward. Think of the individuals who have reached great heights despite facing significant hardship. History offers countless examples of leaders, innovators, and visionaries who used a strong and determined mindset to rise above even the toughest circumstances. Their journeys remind us of the incredible strength that comes from purposefully shaping our mindset. However, developing and maintaining a positive and empowering mindset calls for consistent effort and commitment. Daily habits such as practicing mindfulness, expressing gratitude, self-reflection, and using affirmations are key to cultivating a healthy mental outlook. Make it a priority to regularly assess and improve your thought patterns. When negative or doubtful thoughts arise, choose to replace them with affirmations that promote strength, positivity, and potential. In the end, your mindset influences not just your emotional well-being, but also your ability to succeed both personally and professionally. Every belief, attitude, and thought you hold plays a vital role in determining the quality and direction of your life. Take control of this powerful force by dedicating yourself to ongoing mental and emotional growth. Ladies and gentlemen, keep this vital truth close. By consciously nurturing a positive, resilient, and growth-focused mindset, you give yourself the power to achieve greatness. Embrace this mindset fully, care for it consistently, and witness how your life evolves into a remarkable reflection of your limitless potential. The story of one of history's great industrial leaders is not merely one of financial success, it is a story of vision, discipline, and mastery of the mind. When he arrived in America, he had none of the material wealth that would later define his legacy. But what he did have was far more powerful, an inner conviction that his life could be shaped by his imagination and effort. His success was no accident. He built it through daily belief and determined action. From the start, he was intentional about shaping his mental habits. He trained himself to see opportunity where others saw only limits. When faced with poverty, he focused not on what he lacked, but on what could be gained. When doors closed, he returned with stronger determination. This ability to reinterpret circumstances did not happen by chance. It was the result of a carefully developed mindset where purpose triumphed over self-pity and imagination overcame stagnation. This principle remains just as essential for you today. If you want to rise above the ordinary, you must train your mind to see life not as it is, but as it can be. The greatest tragedy in our time is not a shortage of talent, but a shortage of vision. Many people settle for far less than they're capable of because they have not dared to dream beyond their current reality. That great industrial leader saw the steel industry long before he led it. He envisioned communities enriched by education before libraries bore his name. These were not empty hopes, were clear mental blueprints that guided his decisions, shaped his actions, and kept his spirit strong during hard times. Your journey requires the same kind of focus. You must first master your thoughts to become the designer of your future. Build a vision so vivid, so emotionally powerful, that it is impossible to ignore. Let that vision pull you forward even when life challenges you. Paint your dreams boldly in your mind. See them, feel them, live within them. To achieve this, engage in daily mental training. Begin each day by reconnecting with your vision. Close your eyes and picture the life you're creating. See yourself living with purpose. Speak your goals aloud with confidence. Surround yourself with people, places, and ideas that support the world you want to build, not the one you're trying to leave behind. And when setbacks come, as they surely will, choose to reframe them. Do not see difficulty as defeat. Instead, view it as part of the process that strengthens your character and sharpens your focus. This is how great leaders overcame challenges, and it is how you will overcome yours. The power to create extraordinary outcomes is within you. It is not reserved for a select few. It is activated by those who choose to believe with unshakable faith. Let your thoughts be driven by purpose, your actions guided by vision, and your life shaped by intent. By mastering your mind, you can master your world. The same path awaits you. Walk this path with courage. Resilience is one of the most powerful qualities at the core of a strong and successful mindset. It is not just the ability to endure hardship, it is the inner force that helps you recover, rebuild, and rise stronger each time. Resilience is shaped in the fire of challenge and refined through every storm you face with determination and purpose. SETZOT, inherent resistance and resistance to the worst resistance of the worst. Think of the remarkable journey of the man credited with inventing the electric light bulb. While history remembers his breakthrough, few recall the countless trials that led to it. He carried out over 1,000 experiments before finding the right solution. Where others might have seen repeated failure, he recognized steady progress. He is known for saying that he had not failed, but simply found 1,000 ways that did not work. These words reflect a mindset that sees value in every result, no matter how discouraging it may seem at first. His resilience was not passive, it was a deliberate practice. He chose to learn from challenges instead of being defeated by them. That same choice is available to you. When setbacks arise, and they will, decide to view them as stepping stones rather than barriers. Every challenge contains a hidden lesson, a seed of insight that when nurtured can lead to meaningful growth. You must train yourself to search for these lessons. When hardship appears, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? That one question can turn confusion into clarity. It can change frustration into purpose. It helps you move from feeling powerless to feeling capable. Most importantly, it teaches your mind to see problems as hidden opportunities. Resilience does not mean ignoring pain or pretending that all is well. It means facing discomfort with bravery and turning pain into strength. It means enduring the darkness while holding faith in the coming light. As you face personal, professional, or emotional challenges, resist the urge to give in to defeat. Instead, pause, reflect, and look for meaning. This process does more than heal, it shapes character. Through resilience, you gain what many lack: true confidence. Not confidence that depends on short-term success or the approval of others, but confidence rooted in the understanding that no matter what happens, you have the strength to rise again. This kind of confidence fuels an unstoppable determination. You become the person who does not wait for perfect conditions to move forward. You create your own momentum, powered by belief and strengthened by persistence. The road to success is rarely smooth. It is filled with setbacks, delays, and unexpected turns. But those who walk this path with resilience discover that every challenge hides a gift. They know that character is not revealed by how we act when life is easy, but by how we respond when it is not. Resilience is the voice of inner strength. It is the quiet force that declares, I will not quit. Just as the light bulb illuminated the world, your resilience will illuminate the path to your own success. Embrace it, strengthen it, and honor it each day. Through resilience, you do not simply endure, you overcome and prevail. The pursuit of greatness does not begin with a vague desire. It begins with clarity. You cannot aim for a target you haven't clearly defined. Many aspire to success, wealth, influence, or impact, yet fall short of their dreams simply because they never took the time to define their destination with precision. Dreams can inspire, but inspiration alone is not enough. Dreams must be shaped with structure, detail, and steady action to become real achievements. The individual who transformed transportation and industry understood this deeply. His famous words, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right, express a powerful truth about human potential. Belief matters, yes, but belief must be combined with direction. His success did not come from optimism alone. It was built upon clear, specific goals and an unwavering commitment to see them through. The most successful people do not move through life hoping things will improve. They plan carefully, prepare fully, and pursue their vision with intent. You must follow the same approach. Begin by asking yourself, what does success truly mean to me? Define it clearly. Is it a certain career role, a financial goal, or a personal transformation? Whatever it is, it must be written down, measurable, and tied to a timeline. A goal without a timeline is simply a wish, and wishes rarely take flight. Once your goals are defined, treat them as a contract with your future self. Let them shape your calendar and guide your daily choices. Clear goals bring clear action. Each day becomes a purposeful step forward rather than a distracted shuffle through tasks. On the other hand, vague goals lead to procrastination. When your goals lack definition, you risk falling into inaction. The mind, when unsure, tends to delay, waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect motivation, which often never appears. Specific goals remove this barrier. They give your mind a clear instruction. They direct your hands on what to build, your feet on where to go, and your heart on what to believe. Think of constructing a bridge. Engineers work from detailed blueprints, not loose ideas. Every measurement, calculation, and material is carefully planned. Why should your life's work deserve any less precision? If financial independence is your goal, define exactly what that means, whether it's an income target, a savings figure, or a business plan. If your dream is to become a published author, set deadlines for outlines, drafts, and submissions. Approach every goal with this level of care. This intentionality not only boosts your chances of success, it reshapes your identity. You move from being someone who talks about dreams to someone who builds them. By setting clear, actionable goals, you train your mind to think like a creator, a doer, and a finisher. Your thoughts, actions, and environment begin to align with your vision. In the end, clarity is more than just a strategy. It is a standard that calls for commitment, seriousness, and courage. Hold yourself to it and watch as the fog lifts from your journey. The clearer your goals, the straighter your path. And the straighter your path, the quicker your arrival. True success is rarely achieved in isolation. While personal talent and determination are essential, they often reach their full power only when combined with collaboration. History's greatest accomplishments have been born of collective effort, where ideas were shared, skills united, and visions aligned. Discipline is an essence of success and a request of assessment. You may hold great potential, but when joined with the right partnerships, that potential is not only activated, it is multiplied. Consider the founding of the United States. The leaders of that era, despite different backgrounds, beliefs, and temperaments, chose unity over division. They debated, drafted, and ultimately came together to create a new nation. Their lasting impact lies not just in what they built, but in how they built it, through respectful dialogue, strategic unity, and shared purpose. Our example serves as a powerful reminder that when people combine strengths, they can achieve far more than any individual could alone. You must also seek to build meaningful, strategic relationships in your own life. Start by examining who surrounds you. Do they lift you higher? Do they challenge you to grow? Do they share your values and ambitions? Those closest to you shape how you see the world, influence your choices, and either accelerate or slow your progress. Mastermind alliances, purposeful partnerships formed for mutual growth, are vital to both personal and professional advancement. When two or more minds come together in harmony with a shared goal, they create a third, more powerful force, a collective intelligence that fuels innovation, solves challenges, and drives progress. The essential ingredient is harmony. Simply gathering people is not enough. You must connect with those whose values, goals, and integrity align with your own. To form these bonds, lead with authenticity. Be someone who gives value first, who listens carefully, contributes genuinely, and supports consistently. When you offer strength, others of strength will naturally be drawn to you. And as these connections form, protect them. Tend to your relationships with the same care you give your goals. Celebrate others' successes. Offer support when no one is watching. So when you look at what trust, once earned and kept, becomes the bridge to shared victories. These alliances will fuel you during times of challenge. When your vision blurs or your confidence fades, a strong circle of like-minded individuals will remind you of your purpose. They will offer honesty, not flattery, true encouragement, not empty comfort. Their belief in your potential will reignite your own. In collaboration, you gain more than ideas, you gain accountability. A shared mission calls for steady communication, united effort, and mutual respect. These experiences refine your character and strengthen your leadership. They compel you to rise higher, to find wise compromises, and to commit fully. Never overlook how a single conversation, partnership, or shared purpose can open the door to greatness. The path to achievement often begins where your strength meets that of another. Let this truth guide how you build relationships. Seek alliances not for ease, but for growth. Not for comfort, but for challenge. When minds join with shared purpose, barriers fall. That is not poetic exaggeration, it is proven history. Build your alliances with intention, because in unity, your most ambitious goals begin to shift in your favor. Discipline is the bridge that links ambition to achievement, thought to action, and intention to transformation. Contrary to common belief, discipline is not about restriction, it's about direction. It doesn't take away your freedom, it defines it. Without discipline, a person drifts, guided by impulse and passing emotions. But a disciplined person takes control of their time, focus, and ultimately, their future. This isn't about rigid living, it's about strategic mastery. The heart of self-discipline lies in making consistent, deliberate choices that reflect a higher purpose. Each decision becomes a statement about who you are becoming. Rising early, caring for your health, expanding your knowledge, managing your resources wisely, these are not random habits. They are clear signals of your intent. They show your mind and the world that you are serious about your journey. When Napoleon Bonaparte said, "Victory belongs to the most persevering," it wasn't an empty phrase. He recognized that real strength lies not in talent alone, but in showing up day after day with focus and determination. Success doesn't require flawlessness, it requires persistence. And persistence isn't possible without discipline. Think of discipline as your compass in unfamiliar territory. Life's twists, turns, and distractions can easily throw you off course, but when discipline guides your choices, you always know your direction. You might stumble or progress may slow, but you won't lose your way. Your inner standards, strengthened through discipline, will bring you back on track. To build this inner compass, start by setting non-negotiables, habits and principles that stay firm no matter how you feel or what's happening around you. For some, it may be beginning the day with quiet reflection. For others, it could be regular physical exercise or writing daily. Whatever your non-negotiables are, weave them into your daily life until they become second nature. In time, these small practices gather power. One disciplined habit repeated daily becomes a pillar. 10 such habits become a fortress. Over time, you don't just practice discipline, you embody it. It becomes part of who you are. There is something deeply empowering about discipline. It builds pride, fosters self-respect, and reminds you that your promises to yourself matter. Every time you honor your commitments, especially when it's difficult, you prove to yourself that you can be trusted. Over time, you don't just beat the problem on your own. The problem will often be proved in both your business and your life. It takes time to set up your habits. It takes time to cultivate the things that you're doing well. It makes sense to you. You prove to yourself that you can be trusted. Every time you honor your commitments, especially when it's difficult, you prove to yourself that you can be trusted. It makes sense that inner trust forms the foundation of lasting confidence. Yes, discipline takes effort, especially at first, but that effort brings great rewards. With each disciplined choice, you rise above distractions and resist the pull of comfort. You choose to build while others hesitate. You choose growth while others stay still. In time, discipline stops feeling like a struggle. It becomes a well of strength. It sharpens your abilities, speeds up your progress, and protects your vision from fading. When motivation fades, when excitement dies down, even when outside support weakens, discipline stays. Make it your mission to cultivate this inner strength. Picture your mind as a garden. What you plant will grow. Choose to plant hope, courage, and belief, and nourish them daily through your actions. Pull out the weeds of worry before they take root. In doing so, you don't just lift your mood, you redirect your entire path. Lifelong success demands lifelong learning. The most remarkable minds throughout history have shared one common trait: an unending hunger for knowledge. They recognize that wisdom is not a final destination, but a discipline, a continuous pursuit that sharpens thought, strengthens action, and ensures relevance in a world that never stops changing. One notable figure who embodied this principle was Benjamin Franklin. Despite having limited formal schooling, he became one of the most respected intellectuals of his time. Why? Because he never stopped learning. And so he understood that, judging by his work, I could have asked him, sir, whether he was experimenting with electricity, engaging in diplomacy, or crafting political philosophy. He dedicated himself to constant personal growth. His daily habits included reading, writing, reflecting, and seeking dialogue with other curious minds. Through these efforts, he turned knowledge into influence. This mindset is just as essential today. We live in an age where information evolves rapidly and industries shift without warning. If you're not growing, you're not standing still. You're falling behind. Complacency isn't neutral, it pulls you backward. The only way to stay sharp is to keep sharpening. To develop this mindset, think of your mind as a muscle. Challenge it, stretch it, and nourish it. Read books that push you beyond what you already know. Engage in discussions with people who have greater experience or deeper insight. Attend workshops and seminars not for certificates, but for the transformation they offer. Personal development requires initiative. No one will force you to keep learning once formal education ends. That's where the real test begins, when the responsibility for growth is entirely yours. Take this responsibility seriously. Set aside time every week to refine your skills, explore new subjects, or deepen your expertise. In any field, the most valuable people aren't those who know the most, they're those who keep learning more. Mentorship is key on this journey. A mentor helps you skip years of trial and error by sharing hard-earned lessons. They challenge your assumptions, offer clarity, and help you unlock your own insights. Don't wait for a mentor to appear. Seek one out, and once you do, respect their guidance by applying what you learn. Learning isn't limited to facts and figures. It includes emotional intelligence, communication, leadership, and the ability to think critically. Success rarely comes from technical skill alone. It often depends on how well you understand others, manage stress, and adjust your approach in different situations. That's why continuous learning must be well-rounded. Each day, ask yourself, what did I learn today? This simple question keeps your curiosity alive. It turns daily experiences into valuable lessons. It helps mistakes become insights. It builds a life that becomes richer and more meaningful with time. Remember, knowledge doesn't stand still. What you knew 5 years ago only matters if you've continued to grow. If you're not upgrading your thinking, you're trying to solve new challenges with outdated tools. By committing to continuous learning, you place yourself among those who lead rather than follow. You secure your success for the future. You become resilient, resourceful, and refined. In a world where change is constant, your ability to learn quickly becomes your greatest competitive advantage. Choose growth and never stop. Adaptability is not a luxury, it is a necessity. We live in a time when technology transforms overnight, industries shift in months, and global events reshape economies in mere days. Your success depends less on how much you know and more on how swiftly you can adjust. The ability to adapt is what separates those who thrive from those who merely survive. Charles Darwin's famous observation about survival didn't place strength or intelligence above all. It emphasized the ability to respond to change. This insight goes beyond biology. It speaks directly to your career, your personal growth, and your capacity to lead. To stay effective in any field, you must let go of rigid thinking and embrace progress as it unfolds. Too often, people fear change because it disturbs what is familiar. They resist, hoping the old ways will somehow return. But success is not found onto what used to work. It lies in having the courage to face the unknown and build new approaches for new realities. Change is not your adversary. It is your opportunity to grow. To cultivate adaptability, start by shifting your mindset. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Begin asking, what can I learn from this? That simple shift turns panic into possibility. It channels your energy from resistance into creative problem solving. Every challenge then becomes a training ground, a place where your flexibility is strengthened and your resourcefulness sharpened. Being adaptable doesn't mean abandoning your principles. It means finding new ways to fulfill them. Your vision can stay clear even as your path changes. The most effective leaders, entrepreneurs, and innovators keep their eyes on the goal, but are willing to redraw the map They adjust their approach without sacrificing their values. One way to build adaptability is to seek out variety. Expose yourself to fresh ideas, diverse cultures, and unfamiliar experiences. Read beyond your usual subjects. Engage with people who challenge how you think. Every new experience increases your mental flexibility and prepares you to pivot with confidence. Adaptability also flourishes in environments that encourage experimentation. Give yourself permission to try, to fail, and to adjust without harsh self-judgment. Perfection isn't the goal, progress is the goal. The more willing you are to adjust and refine, the more agile your mind becomes. Flexibility is like a muscle. It grows stronger the more you use it. Emotional agility is just as crucial. As circumstances change, you must learn to face discomfort without letting it stop you. Feelings like anxiety, frustration, and confusion are natural responses to change, but they are not final verdicts. Practice grounding techniques. Pause and reflect before you react. Give yourself permission to feel uncertain while still moving forward. In times of disruption, it is those who adapt who provide stability. They are not overwhelmed by change, they use it. Their calm presence builds trust, and their mindset drives innovation. When others hesitate, the adaptable press on. In the end, adaptability isn't just about surviving change. It's about positioning yourself to lead. Change is a constant in every season of life, but growth is a choice. Choose growth. Choose to adapt. Let every turn in your path strengthen your determination, spark your creativity, and deepen your resilience. Because in the ever-changing story of success, it is the adaptable who shape the future. A life of true success isn't built solely on achievements, honors, or wealth. It is built on purpose. Purpose gives meaning to your efforts, aligns your ambition with your values, and ensures that your journey leads not only upward, but inward. Without purpose, even reaching the highest peaks can feel empty. With purpose, every step, even the small ones, feels worthwhile. Purpose begins with reflection. Ask yourself, what do I stand for? What matters most to me? What kind of legacy do I want to leave? These aren't vague questions. They are the foundation of your life's direction. They shape your vision, guide your choices, and give purpose to each day. When your goals align with your core beliefs, you tap into a deep well of energy that outlasts motivation and outperforms willpower. Consider the examples of those who changed the world, not through force, but through purpose. Leaders like Florence Nightingale, who transformed healthcare out of a deep sense of duty, not for applause. Innovators like George Washington Carver, whose discoveries lifted generations of farmers and communities. Their success wasn't luck. It was the natural result of their inner mission. The same holds true for you. Every action you take should reflect your values. When your choices come from integrity, your achievements carry deeper meaning. They extend beyond personal success and contribute to something greater. People driven by purpose don't chase fulfillment, they create it. To live with purpose, you must regularly realign. Life offers many distractions, short-term wins that seem easy, but cost authenticity. Stay vigilant, check in with yourself. Are your efforts true to your values? Are your victories meaningful or just impressive on the surface? Adjust when needed. Real success never asks you to abandon who you are. It calls you to become even more of who you are meant to be. Contribution is at the heart of purposeful living. The impact that lasts comes not from what you gain, but from how you uplift others. When your work supports, your presence inspires, and your words encourage, you are creating a legacy worth remembering. Success that lifts others is the kind that endures. Right now, this moment is your invitation to rise. The world isn't waiting for someone perfect, it's waiting for someone dedicated. Choose to build your mindset, strengthen your resilience, practice discipline daily, hold on to optimism, adapt with grace, and lead with purpose. These aren't separate qualities. They are woven together into one thread, the thread of greatness. Greatness doesn't arrive in an instant. It is shaped quietly through daily decisions to live with purpose. Each daybreak gives you a fresh start. The only limits that hold you back are the ones you choose to accept. Break them. Let today be the day when intention becomes action. Begin with courage. Move forward with consistency. Let every setback shape you, not define you. And always remember, your journey is about more than success. It's about significance. You are the author of your story. Write it with boldness, write it with heart, and write it in a way that leaves a lasting impact, not just on your life, but on the lives of others. Now's the time to take control of the one force that shapes every part of your life, your mindset. The difference between those who wish for success and those who achieve it lies in how they think, believe, and act each day. The power to transform your future is already within you. It starts the moment you decide to strengthen your mindset and align it with your goals. In this video, you'll discover practical strategies to build a mindset that fuels success and helps you rise above challenges. Don't just dream about success, learn how to create it from within.
Look around at your life right now. Every result you're living with, the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, it's all a reflection of the rules you've been following, whether you realize it or not. Most people are living by default, not design. They follow rules they never chose, guided by fear, comfort, and what others expect of them. And that's exactly why they feel stuck. You want change, real, lasting, life-altering change? Then it starts with mastering a new set of rules. Not suggestions, not ideas, rules. Unshakable, non-negotiable principles that anchor your actions and drive your decisions even when life tries to knock you flat. Because here's the truth. The quality of your life will never exceed the standards of your rules. Change the rules and you change the game. Learn the wrong ones and you'll suffer, but learn the right ones and everything transforms. Let me show you 3 rules that don't just inspire, they rebuild. Rules that have the power to break the old version of you so the strongest version can finally rise. Ready? Let's go. You know what the first rule is? Take full ownership of your life. Not partial, not when it's convenient, full ownership. The second you stop blaming, the second you stop pointing fingers at your past, your parents, your boss, the economy, your ex, your trauma, that's the moment you take your power back. Most people live their entire lives waiting for someone or something to change so they can finally feel free. They're trapped in a story they've told themselves so many times that it becomes truth. I didn't get the right support. People don't see my value. It's too late for me. You don't know what I've been through. And you know what? Maybe it's all true. Maybe life really did deal you a bad hand. But here's the catch. It's still your move. Ownership is not about blaming yourself for everything that's gone wrong. It's about recognizing that while you may not be responsible for what happened to you, you are absolutely responsible for what you do next. That's where your future is built. In the next move, not the last one. When you take ownership, everything shifts. Your language changes, your energy changes. You stop saying, why is this happening to me? And then you start saying, what can I do about this? You stop waiting for the right time, and you decide that now is the time. You stop asking for permission and start giving yourself the authority to change. And I get it, some people hear this and feel attacked. Because if you've been in pain for a long time, if you've been struggling, this kind of talk might feel harsh. But let me tell you something. The truth doesn't always feel good at first. Growth isn't supposed to be gentle. It's supposed to wake you up. And that's what ownership does. It wakes up the part of you that's been asleep, the part of you that's been numbing out, the part of you that's been waiting to be rescued. No one's coming to save you. It's meant to scare you. It's meant to liberate you. Because when you finally stop waiting and start moving, you'll realize you've had the power all along. Ownership puts you back in the driver's seat of your life. And yeah, maybe the road's bumpy. Maybe it's uphill. Maybe there's no GPS, but it's your wheel, your car, your road. And that's all you need. You know the people who never really grow? The ones who keep repeating the same year over and over again, calling it a life? They never take ownership. They live in a loop of excuses. They give their power away to circumstances, to people, to things outside their control. And as long as you do that, you will always feel powerless. Always chasing, never creating. I've met people who've been through hell, abuse, poverty, addiction, heartbreak, you name it. And the ones who made it out, the ones who rose above it, all had one thing in common. They decided to own their story instead of being owned by it. They stopped saying, this happened to me, and started saying, this shaped me, but it doesn't define me. And I promise you this, the moment you truly take ownership, the world starts responding differently to you. Not because the world changed, but because you did. You walk differently, you speak differently, you think differently. You no longer approach life like a victim of circumstance, you approach it like a creator of destiny. This doesn't mean life won't throw punches, it will. But ownership means you show up anyway. You adjust, you adapt, you grow stronger with every hit. Because now you're not playing the blame game, you're playing the game of becoming. Like, anyone can make excuses. Excuses are cheap. Ownership is rare. Ownership is powerful. It's what separates the people who dream about change from the people who actually change. It's what creates leaders. It's what builds legacies. And the truth is, you already know what needs to change. You already know what habits are holding you back, what relationships are draining you, what beliefs are limiting you, what beliefs are limiting. You already know. The only question left is, are you going to own it? Because when you do, when you finally say, this is my life, I'm not blaming, I'm not waiting, I'm building, that's when life opens up. That's when the transformation begins. And it begins with you. Motivation's a beautiful thing, but it's unreliable. It's like a spark that shows up when it feels like it. You can watch a powerful video, listen to a great song, have one of those breakthrough moments, and boom, you feel unstoppable. For a few hours, maybe a day. But what happens when that fire fades? What happens when the alarm goes off at 5 a.m. and there's no energy left? No crowd cheering you on, no adrenaline. That's where most people fall, because they've built their life around how they feel, not around what they've committed to. You don't get to the next level by doing what's easy. You get there by doing what's necessary. And that's where discipline comes in. Discipline is the muscle that keeps you going when motivation walks out. It's the part of you that says, I do this not because I feel like it. I do it because I said I would. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to become. It's what transforms intentions into results. And yeah, it's uncomfortable. It's not sexy. It's waking up early when you're tired. It's saying no when you want to say yes. It's showing up again and again, even when nothing seems to be working, because deep down, you know that something is happening, growth is happening, strength is being built, character is being carved. We live in a world that worships instant gratification. Everything's built around convenience. Click, swipe, scroll, skip. We want the results without the process. But life doesn't work like that. You don't get a strong body by going to the gym once when you're inspired. You don't build a successful career by working hard only when it's fun. You don't develop confidence by avoiding discomfort. You build it by going through the reps. Day after day, when it's boring, when it's hard, when no one's watching. That's discipline. It's the choice to stay committed to your vision long after the mood you made it in is gone. People ask, how do I stay motivated? Wrong question. Ask, how do I stay disciplined? Because when you're disciplined, you don't need motivation. You become the kind of person who follows through, who does what needs to be done, not just when it's exciting, but especially when it's not. That's where power lives. It's where confidence is born. That's where your future gets built. In those small, unglamorous moments of consistency. Let me tell you something, the most successful people aren't the most inspired. They're the most committed. They've trained themselves to act beyond emotion. They've learned to embrace the boring. They've made peace with repetition because they understand that mastery doesn't come from intensity, it comes from consistency. You want to change your life? Start showing up when it's inconvenient. Do the reps where no one's clapping. Be the person who doesn't need to feel good to do good. Because the moment you stop chasing motivation and start building discipline, that's when you become unstoppable. Most people spend their whole lives chasing comfort. They want the dream, but they don't want the discomfort that comes with it. They want growth, but only if it feels good, only if it's easy. But here's the truth, real growth never comes from staying comfortable. Growth and comfort don't live on the same street. One requires risk, the other requires safety. And if you keep choosing comfort, you'll keep living the same life. You can't become someone new by doing what you've always done. Every level of your life is going to demand a stronger version of you, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And that version only shows up when you're stretched, when you're pushed into the unknown and forced to adapt. Think about it. How do muscles grow? You tear them. You push them beyond what they've done before. That's where the growth happens, in the resistance. And life is no different. Every challenge you face, every hard conversation you've avoided, every uncomfortable decision you keep putting off, those are the very things designed to grow you, but only if you lean into them. The problem is, we're wired to avoid pain, to move away from stress, not toward it. But what if you flipped the script? What if you started seeing discomfort as a signal, not to run, but to lean in? What if you trained yourself to see it not as punishment, but as preparation? Because that's what it is. Discomfort is life's way of molding you into the person you're meant to be. The people who grow the fastest aren't the ones with the perfect plans or the most resources. They're the ones who are willing to be uncomfortable repeatedly, willing to look foolish, willing to fail, willing to show up not knowing what the outcome will be, but still doing it anyway. That kind of courage builds something inside you that no book, no video, no seminar ever could. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you're voting for the future you. You're saying, I'm not here to stay the same. I'm here to evolve. And that decision compounds. It adds up. One tough decision, one hard day, one moment of courage at a time. That's how you change. That's how you break patterns. That's how you build a life that reflects your potential, not just your past. You've got to start negotiating with comfort, because if comfort is your goal, growth will always feel like a threat. But if growth is your goal, discomfort becomes your partner. It becomes the signal that you're on the right track. So the next time fear shows up, the next time it gets hard, the next time you feel like backing down, don't. Lean in, feel the stretch, embrace the resistance. Because on the other side of that discomfort is the version of you you've been chasing. The one who doesn't just talk about change, the one who lives it earns. There's a simple truth most people miss. You can't control everything, but you can always control something. And that something is where your power lives. The moment you stop obsessing over what's outside your control, the opinions, the outcomes, the timing, the way others treat you, and start pouring your energy into what you can do, that's when life starts to shift. Too many people waste their lives focusing on things they have zero influence over. They're drained, stressed, anxious, not because of what's happening, but because they're trying to control what's uncontrollable. That's a battle you'll never win. You can't control the weather, the economy, other people's choices, or the way the world moves. But you can control your attitude, your focus, your effort, your standards. And if you want to change your life, that's where you start. When something doesn't go your way, you have two choices. You can react or you can respond. Reacting is emotional, it's automatic, it's where blame, frustration, and victimhood live. Responding is powerful, it's conscious, it says, this is what I can do, and I'm going to do it with everything I've got. That shift from reaction to response is what separates the people who get stuck from the people who rise. You can't control if someone lets you down, but you can control whether you let that disappointment stop you. You can't control when the opportunity shows up, but you can control whether you're prepared for it when it does. You can't control how long the storm lasts, but you can control how you show up while it's raining. That's real power. Not in trying to manipulate every variable, but in owning your response to it all. When you anchor your energy in what's in your control, you create momentum. You become solution focused instead of problem obsessed. You stop spiraling and start moving. And here's what's crazy. When you focus on what you can control, it actually starts to influence what you couldn't control before. You get stronger. You get more centered. You attract better situations because you're operating from a place of clarity instead of chaos. That's not magic, that's alignment. Most people think control means having everything go their way. It doesn't. It means learning to be unshakable when it doesn't. It means being so deeply rooted in your purpose, your values, your daily actions, that no matter what happens around you, you still move forward, still grow, still lead. That's what it means to own your power. Life isn't always fair. Things won't always go as planned. But if you commit to mastering what's within your reach, your mind, your habits, your choices, you will build a life that's unbreakable. You don't need perfect conditions. You need personal responsibility. You need the willingness to stand in the storm and say, this doesn't control me. I control how I rise through it. Because the moment you stop chasing control and start owning your response, that's the moment you become untouchable. Let me tell you something that most people don't realize. Your life is a direct reflection of what you tolerate, not what you dream about, not what you post about, not what you say you want. It's about what you actually allow, accept, and live with every single day. And that all comes down to one thing, your standards. If you have low standards for your health, you'll eat whenever's easy and move only when you feel like it. If you have low standards for your relationships, you'll let people treat you however they want. If you have low standards for your goals, you'll settle the second it gets tough. And fine. But when you raise your standards, and I mean really raise them, everything changes. Your standards are like the thermostat for your life. They determine the temperature you operate at. And here's the thing, even if life temporarily turns the heat up, even if you get inspired or fired up, if your internal standard is still set low, you'll always find a way to turn it back down. That's why people self-sabotage. They get results they don't feel worthy of. They make progress they're not used to. And because their standards haven't shifted, they go right back to their old level. You want permanent change? Don't chase the goal. Change the standard. Decide what you will and won't accept from yourself, not just when it's easy, but when it's hard, when it's lonely, when no one's watching. Your standards are defined in those moments, the quiet, inconvenient ones where no applause is coming and no one's holding you accountable, but you. If you want to know someone's standards, watch their habits. Look at what they consistently do, not what they say they'll do when they're pumped up. High standards aren't about perfection. They're about alignment. It's saying, this is who I am, this is how I operate, and this is what I demand from myself no matter what. And listen, raising your standards isn't just about working harder. It's about expecting more from yourself emotionally, mentally, spiritually. It's about how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you show up for others, how you handle setbacks. It's about choosing excellence when mediocrity would be easier. It's about walking into every situation with the mindset that says, I don't lower to match the room rises to meet me. You don't get the life you want by hoping for it. You get it by demanding it from yourself with consistency, with commitment, and with an identity that refuses to accept anything less than your best. And guess what? The world responds to that. Opportunity starts showing up. Not because you're lucky, but because you've become the kind of person who's ready for them. You attract what you're prepared for, and you become prepared by raising what you expect from yourself every day. This is where people get stuck. They raise their goals but keep their standards low. That gap creates frustration because deep down they want more, but they haven't built the structure to sustain it. If you want to live at a higher level, you can't just visit that level when you feel good. You've got to live there. You've got to become that level. That means making hard decisions, cutting off excuses, surrounding yourself with people who challenge you, and being brutally honest about where you've been letting yourself off the hook. The truth is, raising your standards isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily practice. It's the little things. The early wake-ups, the focused hours, the uncomfortable conversations, is the disciplined choices. That's where the real shift happens. Because over time, those small standards compound into massive transformation. So ask yourself right now, what have you been tolerating? What patterns have you been accepting? And more importantly, what needs to change, not out there, but in here? Because when your standards rise, your life follows every single time.